Good morning, my fellow Belizeans.
Opposition leader Moses Shyne Barrow delivered his response to the Prime Minister's State of the Nation address in solitude from the United Democratic Party's headquarters. His speech ran for 40 minutes, twice the length of time PM Briceno took on Tuesday. But the setting was a stark contrast to the pomp and circumstance and fanfare at the Sir Edney Kane building. Barrow made his remarks to a virtually empty room. That, however, did not faze him as he painted a picture of national despair from the onset.
As we celebrate our glorious history, we must yield to our obligation to be mindful of the present state of our nation, which unfortunately is floundering. After 4 years of the Briceno administration, ask yourselves, are your lives any better? Can you afford the highest cost of living ever? Are you closer to getting your first home? Did you get your first piece of land yet? Are you getting affordable, quality, public health care? Can you afford to send your children to school? Do you have food security? Are you living the Belizean dream or the dreaded nightmare?
Barrow went on to point out several businesses that have shuttered over the last few years, including Renko, Smiling Meats, Hophius, and Bottom Dollar. He used these closures to bolster his argument that the nation's economy is in dire straits. The opposition leader responded directly to the Prime Minister's claim that his administration has recorded a historically high $6 billion GDP.
Despite Briceno's annual attempts to deceive Belizeans, we do not see the GDP growth he boasts of, nor do we feel it. The state of the nation is failing when regular Belizeans pay 25% income tax, while special Belizeans pay 6%, and million-dollar corporations pay 3%. The state of the nation is failing when you fail to collect proper taxes from those making the most, especially those price-gouging leeches, business people who exploit the vulnerable while evading tax compliance.
Barrow contended that while the Briceno administration boasts a 3% unemployment rate, the poverty rate remains at 39%. On the topic of health, the opposition leader chided the government for spending $6.9 million on land in Belmopan to build a tertiary-level hospital. He referred to former Minister of Health Michelle Shabat as the worst Minister of Health in the country's history. Furthermore, he argued that the current Minister of Health has created more havoc than health solutions.
The Ministry of Health's report card from 2020 to 2024 has been horrific and unhealthy for the country of Belize. Instead of the health of our people accelerating to new heights, it has deteriorated since November 2020. Over the last 47 months, under this PUP Briceno administration,
the leader of the opposition spent much of his speech discussing education. Here he lamented the reported shortage of teachers in the classroom. Barrow also argued that the requirement for teachers to have 120 CPD hours in 5 years is daunting for many educators. He recommended a reduction in the number of hours required for continued professional development.
We need to reduce the CPD hours. A more manageable requirement for CPD hours will alleviate the pressure on teachers. Reducing the number of hours needed would make it easier for educators to fulfill their professional development obligations without overextending themselves. These and other solutions would provide for a more equitable and supportive framework for teacher development.
Turning to crime, Barrow declared that homicides have increased by 40% for the same period last year. The Commissioner of Police maintains that while those figures were accurate at the start of the year, that percentage decreased significantly in the third quarter and continues a downward trend. In response, Barrow noted that he would revisit that figure and make the correction if necessary.
Our crime rates and the state of our policing system are deeply troubling. Morale within our department is at an all-time low, hampered by political interference and micromanagement. Ineffective policing has led to the extension of the state of emergency, a measure that, according to John Briceno, underscores the failure of the state. It is imperative that we restore confidence in our law enforcement by depoliticizing the process and implementing meaningful reforms.
Barrow also spoke on national security and the Guatemalan Armed Forces' continued incursion into Belize's territory. He also touched on Belize's energy crisis and ended his address by speaking on the issue of social justice.
But all hope is not lost. For the people of Belize, the resilient people of Belize, have the absolute power to change the state of the nation in the next general elections. Long live democracy, long live Belize. Que viva Belize, Dios te bendiga Belize, God bless Belize.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.